Thank you for tuning in. I'm your reader for today, Quintari Shakir, and you're watching Black Spectrum Network. So I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on Aaliyah. Please make sure that you subscribe, like, and share my video. So to begin, I'm going to give a reading about Aaliyah's personality. I have some new cards, my personality cards. So one thing that was very apparent about Aaliyah's personality was that she always had the spotlight shining on her, and her personality was incredibly seductive. People could easily fall in love with her. And the way that they're describing her is kind of like Helen of Troy, that a lot of people just wanted to fight for her affection. She was a risk taker. She was willing to follow her intuition, even when other people seemed to doubt her. And just by way of who she was, she had a lot of luck in her encounter. She was a very blessed being. She was someone who would surround herself with people that protected her and looked out for her well-being. But at the same time, she also could, in her personality, she could also find herself playing victim in situations so that others could pity her. Aaliyah was incredibly masculine in how she operated with people in her friendships. She was a support system. She was a guide for many people. That's what they're telling me. And she never abused her influence over people. A lot of people came to her for advice and wisdom. What they're saying is that Aaliyah had already mastered the law of attraction, and that she naturally had a very high way of thinking. She didn't focus on a lot of low vibrational thoughts, and this helped her to make friends with people. People that she came into contact with, she spoke life into them and helped them to master themselves. They're also saying that a lot of people were intimidated by Aaliyah, and there were a lot of women who were very jealous of her. And Aaliyah was relatively shy when it came to her relationships with women and having female friends. I'm saying that she was very spiritual. She loved God. She was curious about things outside of about religions outside of Christianity, and metaphysical concepts, and the law of attraction, and success, and new thought was interesting to her. She was very, very disciplined. She was very skilled in her craft. She spent a lot of time training her body to move with certain rhythms. She spent a lot of time crafting her look. And a lot of Aaliyah's creativity in her rhythm, her style, and her look was given to her was given to her by her spirit guides. So she was very much in tune with her intuition. She was introverted, but she enjoyed being around people. but she needed to be alone in order to inspire creativity from within. She was very thirsty for wisdom, had a thirst for life. She was a student of life. They're calling her a visionary, someone who was pioneering new images for black women, new and leaning into sexuality, sensuality, and femininity in a wholesome way. She opened the doors for a lot of people. She was extremely feminine, extremely regal. And I know I said she was masculine, but she was feminine in her she was feminine in her presentation. She walked like a queen, but she was masculine in how she handled things. Aaliyah would go to war for what she wanted. And she was very protective of the people that she cared about. She was a writer. And she spent tons and tons of time writing down her songs because that was that was cathartic for her, and her songs were her diary. But she had an addictive behavior, addicted to being seen as a hero. And an addiction of putting everybody else first. She always put everybody before herself, and she was very compassionate. But she did those things so that she could be seen as heroic. She was saving souls through very meaningful friendship conversations, and she always made people feel as though they were important in each moment that they had with her. She took life one day at a time. That was very naturally her personality. Pretty peaceful. Okay, now I'm gonna do a reading on what the spirits want to communicate about Aaliyah through the cards. What was the purpose of her life? Okay, foundation of Aaliyah's reading was speaking about her dealing with the law of supply, which means that she believed that the universe was created to give her everything that she wanted, dealing with her creative projects, and she knew her creative work was going to grow her wealth and her family wealth. But there was a karmic imbalance that that brought about her death. That she achieved all that she needed to achieve for her family, and it brought them about wealth. That's what her soul wanted to do. I'm also saying that one of the consequences of her not being able to fulfill her creative work, but she did fulfill her financial obligations to her to her divine mission. It created more legal issues for her family in terms of how the world wants to control her music. And above this, I see ancestral debts that are being owed, which means that her soul is not at rest in a spiritual cleanse. Aaliyah's soul is not at rest due to, and I know a lot of people always ask those sorts of things, like, do spirits get angry? Do they, still live with us? Do they still walk with us? And yes, the dead do. They are here. Death is just change. Death means that your physical life ends, and and you change from the physical to the spiritual. Your soul is now released, You're just a spiritual being, and her soul is not at rest until these legal issues are cleared up and her family has ownership of the music in a way that they can truly have ownership of the music. And it's like this is the thing. There's a triangulation. There's her family. There's her family that has the music. There's her family that's supposed to have the music. Okay, listen. There's the family that has the music, the family that's supposed to have the music, and then you have the world. And all three of these people want the music. And Aaliyah wanted to share it between the people that were supposed to have music and the world. And until her music is in the hands of the people that she wanted it to be in, her soul is not going to be at rest. Because part of her practicing the law of attraction was that she wanted, and this is what they're telling me, that she wanted to infiltrate radio, she wanted to infiltrate the mind, she wanted to infiltrate the home, and she wanted to be an icon for the purpose of helping her family. That's it. She wanted to give back to her family. She wanted to make this money to make sure that her family was good, because that's what she cared about.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Dr. Spectrum. Here's a word from our sponsors.
Allure the crowd with intensely moisturized skin using Melanon's unique shea butter blend. It contains a mixture of all natural oils and addictive fragrances. Hand-whipped organic shea butter imparted with luscious ingredients, Melanon can brighten dull skin with its specially made hydration formula. Shop Melanon.com and enjoy free shipping on orders of $50 or more. Does your technological device need restoration? Let us do the diagnosis for you. Is your computer running slow? Let us do the hard work for you. Not sure how to fix your tech device? We can fix it for you. LightSwitch Technical Solutions offers a wide range of information technology solutions, from hardware and software installation to data recovery and virus removal. For more information about computer and device repair, please visit www.lightswitchllc.com.
I'll put these away. Okay. All right, I'm going to do a reading to ask, what was Aaliyah's relationship like with Lil Kim? Because people sent that to me and said that Aaliyah had a relationship with Lil Kim. And I actually did not know that. I did not know she was friends with Lil Kim. I thought Lil Kim was older than Aaliyah. I don't know why, but I mean, y'all are going to hear me say this a lot. I don't really know anything about Aaliyah. I know that she died, and I like Rock the Boat. I like the movie Queen of the Damned because I was kind of sort of interested in vampires back when I was like 13. And I watched that. But she and Lil Kim were friends. Okay, so Aaliyah's relationship with Lil Kim, they were very close, but they were opposite to each other. And if they would not have been friends if they were not, if they would not have been friends if they were similar types of musicians. So Aaliyah was a singer and a dancer, and Lil Kim was a rapper. Is a rapper. And so I'm saying Lil Kim is having a very, hot-tempered, hot-headed personality, and Aaliyah being a lot more peaceful, patient, vain, but both of them admiring each other's femininity. And I'm seeing it as Aaliyah looked deeply at Kim as beautiful, dark, and I'm saying is you have beautiful skin, and elevating her esteem. And I'm saying it as Lil Kim is for some reason just color struck, and she's like, no, light is good, light is beautiful, and I wouldn't have to be beefing, and this is what they're saying in my ears. I wouldn't have to be beefing with Faith Evans. I have it easy. And she admired Aaliyah's look, and they admired each other's look, and it's crazy. They had a really deep relationship in terms of them being like girlfriends to each other. Like homegirls. They didn't talk every day on the phone, but as far as being industry friends, that was her girl, and they were similar in how their avatars were constructed. And how they character themselves, and them pushing the boundaries for sexuality. But, Kim's was more erotic, and Aaliyah's was, romantic with a sexy undertone to it. That's how they're describing it to me. And their relationship actually helped both of them elevate each other. It helped both of them build a strong foundation. And create really good music with each other. There was some influence that Aaliyah had in the background with Lil Kim songs, and I'm hearing it as Lil Kim had given a few lines to Aaliyah before, and they both benefited from being opposite to each other. Aaliyah was obviously smarter, and when I say obviously, I'm saying this in the sense of Aaliyah wrote her music, her own music, and she was more intelligent than Lil Kim and more capable than Lil Kim when it came to being an independent music artist. And the cards are also speaking about here. What I'm saying is both of them they both manufactured really great music. But at some point, their friendship came to an end. I'm not sure why. I guess these cards will tell me. But down here, I'm looking and I'm seeing where their friendship didn't end on bad terms. It's just they needed to just part ways. Little Kim got more spiritual. Aaliyah got more spiritual, and both of them, how do I say this? They both carried each other. They both carried each other to places that they never thought that they would carry each other, and they amicably, split away from each other. It was no bad blood or anything. It was kind of like, I appreciate her, and I love her. I love you, Kim. I love you, Aaliyah, and I've got to do my thing, and we'll see each other around. But they got busier, and their friendship carried them, carried them to another level, and they had to allow for new people to come in. It wasn't bad blood between them. Someone wanted to ask, what was Aaliyah's relationship like with Beyonce? So, well, it's talking the cards is speaking from Aaliyah's perspective of Beyonce, And Aaliyah felt Beyonce was a hardworking woman who was new to the game, and kind of arrogant. And she admired Beyonce from afar in terms of her work ethic and her natural born talent, but she didn't like her arrogance. And just at that time, I'm hearing like this is like these people are in their teens, like late teens, early 20s, and they were like oil and water in terms of their personalities. Aaliyah is very much sure of herself, and Beyonce was walking in this false authority. And she kind of had Beyonce at the time, from Aaliyah's perspective, had a chip on her shoulder. She found Beyonce to be incredibly intelligent, creatively, and she knew Beyonce to be the foundation of why Destiny's Child was very successful. However, when there was tears, there was something that happened between the two that hurt Aaliyah's feelings. And maybe it was like an encounter, a negative interaction, a negative, a microaggression, an insult or something, a little bit of shade Beyonce may have thrown, but something hurt Aaliyah's feelings that Beyonce did to her at one time. Maybe it was more, I don't know. But when it comes to, how she felt about her, again, oil and water, they don't mix. And Aaliyah kept her distance, The last thing that I can say is that in Aaliyah's death, the way that she sees Beyonce is she sees her as a captain of her own ship, someone who has accomplished so much. It's almost like Aaliyah's soul is saying, she and I were very similar in spirit, though we were not similar in our personality and how we expressed ourselves or our music. It's like Aaliyah saying, I see her as the captain of her ship. I see her as someone that conquered and dominates, and she's traversed the globe. She did what I wanted to do, and I have an incredible amount of respect for that. But in around about the time that these two women had to be around each other, they, like oil and water, was a little bit of distance there. But she also felt like Beyonce was within Beyonce. She had the potential to. She had the potential to have the universe at her fingertips, and I mean, some people will argue that Beyonce actually does. We're going to talk about Aaliyah and Damon Dash. Someone said, what was her relationship like with Damon Dash?
I just wanna fly away. First class out of space.